I'm Brian Wright, and this is the Daily Bee. So there's not much that I say no to. When I get offered opportunities, I tend to say yes. Prepared, not prepared, whatever, I say yes. Because the one thing I've found in life is it's much easier to say yes, give it everything I have, and live with whatever that result is, than to say no and then look back and have regret because I didn't go for something. Now, to be able to be in the position where you can say yes, you have to live in a particular way and you have to have a particular mindset. You know, the elite people that I work with, we develop a mindset where we are working every day so that we're prepared, so that when the call comes, we can always say yes. Some people criticize us and say, why do you do the things you do? Well, the thing is, if you've ever spoken to me, you'll hear me talk about cutting the line. Saying no puts you in the back of the line. Saying no keeps you in the masses. Saying yes and taking on challenges that the average person doesn't want to take, or even the elite person doesn't want to take a risk for, gives you the opportunity to jump the line. So if you feel like things are going too slow, you need to be prepared. So when you get the call, you could say yes. Prime example, Carl Roberson. God, at this point, I don't even know how many years ago it is. We're probably looking at about 4 years ago. He's an amateur fighter, okay? He's an amateur kickboxer, no pro kickboxing fights. At that point, I think we had 3 amateur MMA fights and 1 pro MMA fight. I don't remember the circumstances in totality. It's crazy how the universe works because it's a Sunday or something like that. It's a couple days before this event's going to happen. I get a phone call and they say, hey, we have a fight in France. Do you have someone that could do it? And they knew they were asking about Carl. So I'm like, Carl and I that morning, before that phone call came, we made an agreement that we were going to take a couple months off and we were going to not reevaluate, but kind of start again and go because we were coming off a stretch where Carl was fighting a lot in a very short amount of time. So all those fights I mentioned before, they happened in like a 9-month period. It was just a crazy time. We were like, we need a break. But then the call came. And the call was, do you want to fight at heavyweight in France, on a mountaintop, in a castle, against Jerome Le Banner? Look up Jerome Le Banner, just any search, and you will find that this is a guy who's a beast because he's like 6'5", 260 pounds, and he has 125 fights. Finalist, K1 Grand Prix, all this stuff. One of the best kickboxers of his generation. And I got a call, does this unknown amateur want to fly to France on short notice and fight this guy? And what did I say? I said yes. The reason I said yes is because Carl is one of those people that doesn't say no because he's always ready. He has fight in him that he wants to unleash and he wants to achieve great things and he doesn't care at what cost. And that's what it takes to find the success that we want. You have to have the hunger and the drive to say yes no matter what. You have to be able to take a fight on 3 or 4 days' notice, hop on a plane, travel 24 hours, fight 2 weight classes above your normal weight class against a proven world champion, and basically beat them and get screwed. Anyone looks at the video, look up Carl Roberson, Jerome Le Banner, you'll realize Carl Roberson won. He won it twice because he knocked him down a bunch of times and got crazy counts. The final count was a 23-second count, and the guy only got to 8. So the fix was in. We understood. It is what it is. But the line was jumped. Carl gets a call from Glory Kickboxing. The top kickboxing organization in the world gives Carl a multi-fight deal out of nowhere because he jumped the line. And then in his first fight in Glory was against Dustin Jacoby, who had 20-something pro fights in Glory, I believe, at that time, and had a huge, long record, whatever. And again, second fight, going against another world-class opponent. Then he fought Mike Lemaire after that, another world-class opponent. Then he got hurt, came back, and then we get into the UFC in 3 or 4 fights. Carl has that in him. Other fighters on our team have that in them. You may have that in you, where you have the ability to say yes when the call comes and jump the line. But again, the main point, besides these stories about all this cool shit, how does this relate to you? This relates to if you're living in a way where you're always prepared to answer the call, you will always have more opportunity than the other people around you. You will always have opportunity to achieve greater things than the rest of the people because you're willing to go after it. There's that old samurai maxim that says, the samurai most prepared to die will live the longest. That's the level of preparation we're talking about, where we accept our fate, We're accepting the reality that this ride is coming to an end at some point. This ride comes to an end while we're alive if you're an athlete, because your athletic performance starts to drop at a certain point and you're not able to be world-class anymore. You may have world-class knowledge and you may become a great trainer, but to be the man in the arena doing the work, you have a limited window for that. And if you're not prepared to do that work, you may not get the opportunity to be as great as you think you should be. If you really think you're that great, get in the damn gym, put in the damn work, say yes to the fights. Take the fights that everyone says you're going to lose and win those damn fights. Or put up such a fight that you're still going to rise. Even when you lose, you win sometimes. It's all about how you comport yourself. It's what you put out there. But you can't have that chance if you're not prepared, if you're not mentally ready to say yes when opportunity comes. That's the whole thing. I'm sitting here going through quarantine. Right now, it's the end of June. I've been in quarantine since March 14th. My business has been shut down. I literally have not been able to do what I've been doing for the last 22 years of my life for like 4 or 5 months. But I've been sitting here and I've been saying yes to the opportunities that come, not just to survive, but to make sure that when we come back, I'm more prepared to survive forever, to do what I do better, to have better people to do it with, to master the system, and to be able to grow. That is the point. We all have this opportunity. It doesn't matter if it's quarantine or if it's daily life. You're going to have struggle and you're going to have trials, but you've got to focus on yourself and how you're reacting to them and put yourself in the best position to react so you can achieve success. So just walk away from this video and think about one thing. Are you prepared to say yes? And now if you're prepared to say yes, start doing the daily work so saying yes makes sense for you, not for the guy who's calling you trying to set you up. Because life, just like the fight game, most people are going to call not because they see an advantage for you, but they have an advantage in using you. And I'm not trying to be negative about that, but if you're a guy lower down, the higher up guys are going to try and use you to pad their records, to make more money, to do whatever. You're the sacrificial lamb. But you've got to turn that around so everybody comes to realize that you're not the sacrificial lamb. You're the wolf on the hunt. You're the hungry one. You're the one slaughtering the sheep. You're the lion. And the thing about a lion, which is really amazing, is that lions don't walk through the jungle saying, the lion's here, the lion's here. When the lion walks into the jungle, the whole jungle knows. That's what you want to be. You want to be the guy that's so prepared that when you show up, they go, oh shit, we made the wrong decision. Maybe we should have called somebody else, but it's too late. And then they switch teams and they back you and they give you the opportunity. That's how you upset the system. That's how you jump the line. That's how you get ahead of people on the ladder. That's just how it works. Be prepared to say yes. Go for it. This is Brian Wright. I hope I've inspired you to be a little bit better today. Peace.